baby in the background going bye bye bye. I have to babysit, so I have to make this video too. And this is the quietest I can get it around my house, so I have to do it now. Anywho, part 2 to what if Deku had a Super Saiyan quirk will come out sometime later. Now, 200 200 likes for the next part of what if Deku had an apocalypse quirk. And let us get into it. Okay, actually I have to get rid of her. Let us go! No intro today because I don't feel like ending this video. Now, I want to post it when I'm done. Or as soon as I'm done. Our story continues off with Deku. Deku, he has been running towards this town area, or this campsite, for about a day now. Now, Deku, he has ran into zombies on his way there, and these aren't that powerful of zombies. Now, Deku, he's trying to learn how to use his quirk. Deku does not know how, or he doesn't know that he can control their actions, but he does know that, whatever his quirk is, it somehow saved him because, he's not a zombie yet. He sat there for an entire day, and he hasn't changed. He actually feels stronger from that bite. So, Deku would continue to run. Now, we would cut to him arriving at the town area. This area is extremely strict, and they don't allow anyone in unless they've checked them. So, yeah. Now, Deku does have to fight off and kill a bunch of zombies by their gate just to get close to it. And once he does, the men would drop down and they would help him. But they would check Deku to see if he has been bitten, and Deku would have to strip there. They have to check his entire body to make sure he hasn't been bitten. The only strange thing they see about him is that he's pale, and they're like, it must have something to do with his quirk, and they would bring him to their leader, or basically the camp leader, or mayor, or whatever you want to call them. And this woman's name is Big Mama. Now, basically Deku would get into her office as a lot of the camp leaders are going to be kind of D or assholes in this one since they have such power and they're like, I can do whatever I want in this world now. So of course she's a crook, okay? So, yeah. Now, Deku's brought to her and basically she's laughing. And she's like, come on, this little boy right here, you're saying that he killed a couple of zombies by our gates? Because Deku is, he's still like small. He hasn't grown much, only his muscle mass has grown. And she can't really see that since Deku has covered his body with a cloak that he pulled off of a car from a house when he was traveling towards there, Let me explain that. I just realized how stupid that sounded. Deku grabbed this brownish looking cover and he yanked it off of a car, which cars still work in this, it's just that it didn't have any gas. So Deku was kind of using this to cover himself. So yeah. Now basically she's laughing and she's like, alright boy, you want to stay here, right? What's your quirk? With Deku saying that he doesn't want to stay here, he's only going to be here for a couple of days and then he's going to dip. He still has someone important he has to find. Now, basically this woman would start to laugh, and she's like, what camp did you come from? Because, it's basically impossible to survive without a camp, or at least a town or a city to live in. Now, Deku would say that he is from basically, I still haven't got up a name for it, but he's from what's-the-name place. We're just going to call it Camp. I don't know. We're just going to call it I don't know. But he just says that his camp has been destroyed. His town has been destroyed. And that, everyone there was likely murdered. And only a few people survived through the bullet train. Or bullet car or whatever. I forgot what I named it. Missile car or something. But anyway. Deku. After this woman hears this, she would laugh and she's like, finally, that fat bastard's been stealing from my side of the territory for years now. I just couldn't do anything since all the people there had somewhat strong quirks. And then she would start to laugh, and she's like, oh, looking at Deku's face, seeing that, he's mildly angry. And she's like, did I offend you? And Deku's like, huh. As he would basically, just calm down. And he's like, can I stay here or not? And she's like, you're a crook. Or not, never mind. She would tell him, yeah, you have one day, and then I'm throwing you off or throwing you out. And if you don't leave willingly, I'll just feed you to Betsy. And Deku's like, Betsy? And she's like, yeah, don't worry about that. And she says that basically Deku has a day to get out, to leave. He has a day to stay here in her town before she kicks his ass out. Deku, he would accept this, and he would leave. Now, Deku would be looking around the area, and he does still have, currency. How would currency work in this world? We're going to say that every town has its own currency. So, Deku's town has different currency from here, meaning that he's basically, his money isn't even useful here. So, yeah. So Deku's money isn't useful here, meaning that he can't buy anything. So while he's looking around, Deku would run into someone. This person would look up, and Deku would see that they have a scar on their, or above their eye. Now, this person would say, oh, sorry. As Deku sees how, timid they are. They're not timid, they are sort of timid, yeah. But Deku would notice the features of this person. He would see that they have red eyes and black hair. Deku saying, nah, it's my bad, I should have been watching where I was going. And he would say, is there anywhere I could stay for the night? And basically this person would say that his mom runs a sort of homeless shelter. And Deku would say, oh, well, as he would scratch his head saying that at least it's something, and if he can lead him there, yeah. So, basically this person would lead Deku to his mom, and Deku, he would be given a janitor's closet to sleep in, since, there isn't really it's not a really big house, it's really small. This town isn't that big either, so, yeah. Basically, it's for people who just, arrive in their camp, and then they need some place to stay. So, yeah. Now, Deku, he would think, the woman who... Hold on, guys. Deku would think the mom, which she would introduce herself as... I had a name and I forgot about it. But I'm just going to introduce her from her last name since she's not really that important to the series. She would introduce herself, first name, and then she could just say that you can call me Miss Kirishima. Now, Deku would say, oh, thank you. As then Deku, he would go into the closet, he would shut it, he would lay down. Deku's body doesn't really need sleep, so yeah, Deku still has to get used to that. Also, I'm gonna say that Deku doesn't need to eat or sleep since he's practically fed by the sun. All he needs to drink is, I don't really think he would need to drink, but we're gonna say he needs just water. He's practically a plant now. But for the sake of my what if, we're gonna say that he needs to eat, but he just doesn't need to sleep. So, yeah. And he can go days without eating, thanks to the sun and that other ability that he has. But, anywho, Deku, yeah, he's just laying there. Now, Deku, he would get up and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of thirsty. As he would walk out of his closet. Now, Miss Kirishima, she showed him around, saying that basically there is water in the refrigerator, the mini refrigerator, if he needed some. Now, Deku would walk over, he would grab some water, and he would walk outside. Now, he would look and he would see that the boy who helped him, or who told him this area, Kirishima, or Ijiro, if you're, it's basically Kirishima, but we're gonna call him Ijiro. Basically, Ijiro, Kirishima. We're just gonna call him Kirishima. Why not? But Kirishima, basically, he's training. Deku can see his quirk, which he's hardening. That's something new for me. I never really seen a hardening quirk before. As he's like, huh, there are little mini quirks in this world, right? As Deku would pull out something from his back, and he would start to write in it. Basically, it's a book that he always, took freaking notes on the quirks that he's seen. He has his mom, his dad's. He also has Uraka's, her dad's, and a couple other people. These are the only quirks that he's seen since he's been in his camp his entire life, never really leaving. Now, Deku would shut the book, and he would jump down. No, or not. What the fuck am I? Sorry. I was thinking of a different what if that I was doing before this video. But Deku would walk towards Kirishima, and he would ask what he's doing. Kirishima says that he's training so he can leave out, basically so he can leave. He's saying that he's tired of living here with some crook, and that he wants to go move to All Might City. No, All Mights. I can't really find a good name for these. If you guys have good names for the camps, you can just throw some names down in the comments for me. Like, illegit can be named anything that is, it can't be inappropriate, just name it something. So, yeah. Anyway, he wants to move to All Might City, so, he can stop living here. And he would say that basically their camp leader, she hogs all the food. It's hard for anyone to get anything from her. And that she's just unbearable to be around. Talking about how she kills people if they don't, or she kills people in her territory that, don't pay her. Or she feeds them to Betsy. Deku's like, Betsy? And then Kirishima would say, oh, it's her pet zombie. Which, it's basically just a zombie in a pit that she just throws people in so they can get eaten by it. But Deku's like, is that right? As he says that, he's going to be traveling that way. Basically, he's going to be traveling that way, and that he can come with him if he wants. Kirishima, basically looking at Deku, he's saying, what? As Deku says, yeah, I'm traveling to All Might City. My camp was recently destroyed, and I could probably need someone like you. Basically Kirishima's quirk, that's what he means. Deku can't survive on his own, no matter how good his quirk is against this virus. Kirishima would look at Deku, and he would say, huh. And as that, he would basically say that that's interesting, and that he'll think about it. As Deku's like, so, what about your mom? As he says that basically she wants to stay here, and he'll probably come back for her. Or he's most likely going to come back for her. Deku would ask about his father. Kirishima says he died, which is like the fate of multiple parents in this what if. So, yeah. Anywho. And Deku would basically understand. As Kirishima would ask about how, his village was, or his, area, his territory was destroyed. And Deku would say that this big zombie came out of nowhere. It was super mutated, and it tore our walls down. Our walls weren't really made out of good material. It was made out of dirt. And this creature destroyed everything. It let a horde of zombies in, and it made itself a lot of victims, saying that it killed his father and possibly some other people that he cared about. Now, Kirishima's like, huh, where is it? Deku, I'm pretty sure Deku didn't kill it. So, he would say that it's still roaming. Yeah. Now, in this whole conversation, Kirishima was practicing on throwing punches, kicks, and Kirishima's hair is still black because he doesn't have that, he wasn't inspired by anyone. He wasn't inspired by Red Riot, so, yeah. Or Red something. I forgot what that guy's name was. I'm pretty sure it was Red Riot. So, yeah. Now, Deku doesn't really know a lot about martial arts. So, basically he would be asking Kirishima what fighting style he's practicing with. Kirishima's saying, you've never heard of boxing? As Deku's like, nah, not really. As Kirishima would say that, this is the fighting style of someone who taught him. Basically, this person one day, they appeared. They told, basically, how do I explain this? Basically, someone from outside of their territory, he appeared at the gate, he was let in, and he would lived with Kirishima and his mom for a couple of months before not being able to pay and being fed to Betsy. That's that guy's story. But he did train Kirishima a little bit, and Deku is watching Kirishima. And he's like, huh. And Deku would stand up asking if he minds to teach him a little bit. Now, this is happening late at night, so Deku and Kirishima, basically Kirishima most likely, yeah, Kirishima mostly is just showing Deku, proper stances, footwork, and, how to actually throw a punch. Since Deku always gives his punch a wind up, you don't, Deku doesn't punch, straight. He's, always pulling his fist, cocking it really far back before throwing a punch. So, yeah. Now, Deku, after learning this stuff, he would be like, alright. Now, it is extremely late at night. Kirishima is, tired. And he's like, how are you not tired yet? Deku's saying, oh, it has something to do with my quirk. As Kirishima's like, huh, what is your quirk? As he says that basically Kirishima would say that he's told him his, and, that Deku should tell him what his quirk was. Now, Deku would look at Kirishima, and then he would say that my quirk doesn't exactly have a name. As he would say that basically his quirk gives him the abilities of extreme reflexes and overall strength, speed, durability enhancing. Now, Kirishima's like, that's a really good quirk to have. And he's like, it's better than mine. As Deku would say that, all quirks have their own uniqueness. And that his quirk is just suited. And that Kirishima should, have faith in this quirk a little bit more. And yeah, a bond is built between Deku and Kirishima, with Kirishima basically being another one of Deku's close friends. Now, basically, the night would pass after Deku and Kirishima's, bro bonding. I almost said bromance, but that would just be weird. But after their bro bonding, Deku has to go now. Now, Deku would be basically walking out of the gate, and he would be carrying supplies that Kirishima's mom gave him, water, food, and she's not gonna send some child out into the dangerous world, so you have to give him that stuff. Now, Deku, who is 16 by the way, he has some water and some food, and he's leaving. Kirishima, he's at the gate, to give, to tell Deku, give him his goodbyes, saying that he can't leave just yet, and that he'll catch up with him, and that he maybe will see him in, All Might City, I mean. So, Deku would look at Kirishima, and he would say, yeah, see you on the flip side, giving each other, fist bumps, as Deku would leave wearing his, cloak. Now, we're gonna have, a time skip. We skip a couple hours in a day since Deku left early in the morning. Right now, it is freaking, we'll say around 5 or 4. Yeah, we'll say 4. So, basically, Deku, he is basically passing through this city. Deku learned a sort of special ability that sort of just happened by itself. It's an ability that allows him to release spores from his skin pockets. I forgot what they're called. I forgot what the pockets in the skin are called. But he can release spores and to mask himself in a musk that is similar to the zombies, and it would kind of just cloak him. Although, I'm not sure if I should have Deku just give him the ability to walk through these things. But we're going to say that Deku can walk through zombies. And the only thing that they won't attack him unless Deku were to, show signs of human. I don't really know. But Deku can mask himself in a musk that smells similar to them. So they won't attack Deku. So, Deku, who is cautious about this right now, he just masks himself and he is sneaking around because he doesn't know if he can walk around in them. Until, while Deku's sneaking, he would bump into one of them. Now, this zombie would look at Deku before walking away. Now, Deku would look at that and he's like, oh, alright, guess there's nothing to worry about. So Deku would walk in the open. He is still a little bit scared as he's looking around like, okay. as Deku right now is like we're gonna say 4 weeks away from All Might City. So, yeah. Now Deku, he would look towards this area. He would see that there is a gun store there, but it's also swarming with zombies. So Deku, he would, a little reluctantly, he would walk over. He would have his head down, covered in a cloth, basically like a hood, as he's walking through them. Now, while walking through, Deku would open the door, as basically the area, like the insides of it at least, are somewhat clear. There are dead zombies, meaning that someone was here. Deku would close the door behind him before looking around. Now, Deku, he would start to walk forward. Now, he turned off his mask, as he's like, I don't think I should have done that, but whatever. As Deku would turn his back and he would look down towards this rack of guns. Deku sees a revolver, just like a short revolver, nothing too big, as he would pick it up. Now, Deku's like, as he has, I don't really think I gave Deku any sort of arms training, like no type of weapon training other than like stabbing. So we're gonna see that Deku doesn't know how to use a firearm. So yeah. Now Deku would grab some bullets that he thinks that they are. He would try to fit the bullets in, and he would see that these are. It also says revolver on it. So he's assuming that these are the bullets, hoping that it doesn't backfire on him. As Deku he failed to notice one thing on this revolver, that the insides of it have been stuffed with trash. It's extremely dangerous for a gun. But anyway. Now, Deku, basically he's looking at this gun as something would happen. Deku would hear movement behind him as Deku looks behind him to see that there is a crawler type zombie rushing towards him. Deku, basically, he would slap the monster in the face with the gun, as it would fly to the ground, and Deku would aim it at the creature. With him pulling the trigger, him not even holding the gun the right way, I mind you, basically the gun would explode, and it would knock Deku back. Anyway, Deku aims the gun, he fires it, and it explodes in his hand, causing massive damage to his hand, shattering the surrounding glass, and also, yeah, that's all. Actually, also alerting the other zombies in the area. Now, Deku's like, fuck. As he would start to emit the musk that he learned that he can use, as he would cover his body. Deku's like, what the fuck? As he's like, what was that? And then, basically this crawler zombie, it would start to look confused. It would start to debate with its non-existent brain whether it should attack him or just walk away since it's one of him. But it would still attack him because it would smell the blood that Deku is emitting. Now, Deku would punch it in the face using the training that he learned from Kirishima and sending it flying to the ground, before Deku would start to stomp on its head repeatedly until it died. So, basically Deku would look down at his hand, which is regrowing at extremely fast rates, as he's like, I guess that's useful. As his hand is fully regrown, and Deku is covered with a musk, as zombies would start to come in. Now they would look at Deku before just, wandering around the store, as Deku would grab another revolver, although this one's longer, and Deku would be reluctant to fire this gun anymore, because he didn't know why the other one exploded. Was it just faulty? Which it was faulty, so yeah. Now Deku would leave the store, and that is where we'll be pausing Deku's journey. Thank you for watching, and do you think Uraka belongs to the streets? That is all I have to say. 100 likes for the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.